All right. So I love seeing all of you in the morning when you drive in. I love waving to you. I love smiling and that. But I'm also there to make sure that when you drive in, I know who you are. Right? And when people drive in that I don't know who they are, I'm telling you, I'm asking who they are, and I'm figuring out and finding out what we're going to do with them. Okay? Why? Because security is a major here. It's majorly important. If you haven't figured that out for us, I'm hoping after you leave tonight you'll realize it. It's a great challenge, though. We got a big building. I'm getting to know the facility and the process really well. I guess I have a much better view now than I ever have had. And there's some things and there's some exposures, without a doubt, that we have. We have gone and spent a bunch of time. What have we been doing? So Hutz has met with every principal in the Glenview and Northbrook school district. He hosted them here, and they talked about security. And they talked about what do they have at their schools. They talked about security officers on campus. They talked about challenges. They talked about the same things that we talked about. We spent some time with them, right? I've spent some time with the chief of police here in Northfield and talked to him about our campus, and he knows our campus. And he's helped me to identify some areas of improvement and opportunity. We want to make nice with the Northfield Police. I want them to be here, right? I want them to park their cars when their officers are on lunch. I want them to park their cars right in my parking lot so that we have presence here, okay? I've met with the safety resource officers at New Trier High School. Some of you might know one of those. That's Josue Perez. His daughter Lily went here. He is one of the security resource officers at New Trier. I met with the other one as well. We talked about, what are you guys doing? Tell me about it. They have a wealth of knowledge that they've helped us with. We've created a security task force, and some of those folks are here tonight, and I really, really appreciate you. Mark Elifros, Josue Perez, Eddie Torres, right? Josh Parsons is on it. Do Kim, our IT guy, is on it. We've come together and we've identified and talked about where are the areas for us that we're doing well and where are the areas for us to improve. So we've spent time looking at, and Oscar Valenzuela. Now, if you think about those guys, that's security resource officers. Those are Chicago cops, right? That's a group of people who understand security and understand the process way better, brutally honest, way better than I do. And they're teaching me, right? What have we done so far? Let's talk about it. We're going to talk about process, facility, and people as quickly as I can. Process, what have we done so far? So you see my smiling face at drop-off, right? That's a purpose for that, because I want to make sure when people are driving in, who else is driving in our facility? Minimizing the timed doors. What do I mean by timed doors? When we time a door to be open, when you can just walk in. Really convenient for everybody. Love it, right? Walk in my door. But when you walk in my door, who's walking in behind you? And how do I make sure that the people walking in behind you are the people that we want in our facility? So we're minimizing that. And honestly, folks, you probably have felt in that, oh, wow, this isn't as convenient. I know it's not, and I'm trying to balance really hard being able to be convenient and being safe. So we've minimized that. We used to time doors open for play practices that would be in here. For the entire play practice. Nobody's out there, they're all in here. I got a door wide open for anyone to walk in. We can't do that. Not in today's age. We can't. The check-in process at the front. Again, some people get a little crazed at me that I want you to check in with Diane, put a name badge on, so when you walk through our facility, we can say, who are you? Why are you here? Oh, great. It's not about not being friendly and not community. We love you. We want you to be in our facility. We want parents to feel community. But it is about being able to look and identify and say, I don't recognize you. Let me introduce myself. Who are you? So it is about building community a bit, but it's also about challenging how and who is in our facility. Okay, what are some of the process needs? Well, these timed doors, the process need. Is a door timed or keyed open? To me, we must have a presence at that door. We have to have somebody looking saying, hey, okay, welcome, nice to have you here. Who are you? Right? Including after-school events, including midday pickups. We just had a beautiful Christmas concert, and I freaked out because we had a bunch of doors that we have timed open. Is there somebody at that door when everybody's singing fa la 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 in here? Who's walking our building out there? Further improvements to check-in on the school day. Entry. Okay? Those are some things, some needs that we identified that we have to move in. We have a little bit better job to do on our lockdown and our lockout. So lockdown, right? Active shooter, somebody comes in our building, we got a problem. What are we going to do? We've had a little bit of a old school approach to that. We get everybody in, we lock the doors, we cover the things, right? We put the kids against the wall, and that's it. Well, the new school is, no, you should block your doors with anything that you have in your room to keep somebody from coming in case they were. And you should be prepared if they're coming in. You should have things to distract them, to throw at them, to do whatever you can to them. Now, some will teach you, you should try to evacuate. And I'll tell you what, depending on who you ask, it's a couple different schools of thought. But we have some work to do to better prepare ourselves, better to teach, better to train in this process. And as you all know, CHA is in the 1920s as it comes to communicating with parents if there's a challenge. Right? We got a nice call log. So I have to call you call them, and they call them, and they call them. Versus something that gives you an immediate text, an immediate phone call that says, hey, we got a water main break. School's going to be closed. Just not an emergency. Or we're on lockdown. We're going to take care of your kids, but we're on lockdown. That is about $2,000 annually. We're going to go through a little bit about what some of these things are going to cost us. Now we're going to get into facility. So that's process. We got some process things to work on. We've done some work. Facility, what have we done or what are we doing? So outside cameras, right? We never had them. We had them, but they weren't up. They weren't running. We now have outside cameras up, so I can track you, Tommy Christian, from the time you come in around my building, either way, my building, our building. Careful, it's not my building, although I feel and I take it very personally like it is. Okay? 2 new doors are coming. Thank you, Cornucopia. Yeah, part of that is absolutely making sure handicap accessibility. Thank you, folks, for that. But those 2 doors are going to make us more secure. And we've approved putting a fence between our gymnasium and Montessori so that our playground isn't wide open to our parking lot. Now, whether I get that done right now before the frost goes, we're going to see. We're working on our fence guy to get it in here as quickly as possible. Those doors, by the way, are coming. They'll be installed spring break. We got some floor work to do in Christmas break, and then we got door work to do spring break. Okay, let's go. What do we need to do, though? Here comes the big numbers, folks. Love, love, love that we raised a bunch of money in Cornucopia, but I still have 5 exterior doors to replace as is, and I have 6 exterior doors that I want to change to exit only. You know why? Because when you put a handle on a door, it's easier to get in that door. There's some doors that we just don't need to have getting in, we need to have getting out. Okay? Each door is roughly $20,000. That includes some work around the floor. It includes potentially some concrete work that needs to be done. Rough idea, $20,000 times 11 doors is $220,000. Anybody want to pull their checkbook out and write me a check for $220,000? I will put all those doors in as quickly as possible. Facility needs windows. So all of our windows, again, we're a 1960 building. All of our windows are tempered windows. Means when you go and you would throw something through them, they'll break, they'll shatter, and you got a wide open spot. Now, there's this film, this handy dandy film you might have seen that you put it on the window, you go to throw something through. If it breaks, it doesn't shatter and come down. It basically stays intact. Okay? That goes and ranges anywhere from $10 to $18 per square foot. The first floor of CHA has 4,500 square feet of windows. I love the glass hallway. I love the windows in the auditorium, but boy, they definitely expose us from that standpoint. That's about $45,000 to $82,000 if you do the math, to make those windows in the form of protected with that film. Just the glass hallway alone has 2,408 square feet. Okay, fence. We need a fence by Teddy Kosoff over here. Now, what is that fence going to do? Look at the north side by College of Pathology. It's 4 foot, right? It's not going to really keep somebody from coming in. It's not a barrier. It's not a prison, right? But it deters people from coming across. It deters somebody from driving a car across Teddy Kosoff's parking lot into our parking lot or getting out that way. So we need a fence there. We need a fence around the back side of our field on the north side of the building. From the building out to the fence by the College of Pathology. Okay, and we need a more robust gate system. If you look back on that north side, we now have this nice little chain, which we had nothing, meaning anybody can come in anytime they want or go out anytime they want. About $50,000 are those 3 things. Okay, facility needs cameras. I have 15, Doe, thank you, Doe. We have 15 exterior cameras. We got a camera that'll tell me what Rusty Schlechter's license plate is when he comes in the facility. And one when he goes out of the facility. We have 15 cameras around the outside. We have 17 cameras inside our building, primarily on the doors, so I know who's at the doors and where they're coming through. So Diane knows who's at the doors and what's going on. We need a few more, both inside and out, around $10,000. Facility needs fobs. You know what a fob is, right? These little key things that you press them up and boop, it lets you in. Fobs and interior doors. Exterior doors have key fobs, that's great. Our system for those fobs is, again, a little bit antiquated. It's full. If I want to add any more doors with more fobs, I need a new system. I need to replace the panels related to those. I need some more slots. And we need some doors out in front by Diane. We love that those doors there, you can just come in and walk in, But boy, if you want to hurt me, coming in and just walking in is a bad thing. So we want to put interior doors flanking Diane, 3 of them, that have fobs on them, that she buzzes you in if you come in to go into the facility versus just walking through. Again, it's our main entry point for someone who might want to do harm to our facility and to our people. Summary of needs, facility and process. We've got a bunch of work to do, a bunch of dollars to secure the facility. Now, I don't want to freak anybody out because I feel our facility is in good shape. I feel like we have our arms around. I feel like we know. But man, there's a bunch of crazy people in this world, and we have to do everything we can to make it safe and secure here. By no means do I want you to go home and say, wow, this place is way less secure than any other facility around. That's not the case, but we have work to do. Overall, looking at between $340,000 and $377,000 for the things that I just walked through with you on the slides. Okay? Risk and exposure. Now, it's going to take some time. We have needs to monitor areas on a regular basis during the school day, during events, and we have the desire to improve our overall emergency procedures, right? So that we get better at lockdowns, so we get better at fire drills, so we get better at severe weather drills. We always, and everyone should think you have an opportunity to continuously improve what you're doing. Are we terrible? No. Do we have room for improvement? Absolutely. So here's why I'm saying all this stuff. First, our recommendation is to continue to invest in the facility as money comes available. Cornucopia was beautiful. It's one of those areas that we did well in. To replace doors, to do the film on windows, in priority areas, to do fence over time, to pick and choose those key priority areas and continue to invest money in it. But it's going to take time, and it's going to take money. I want to add those 3 interior doors in the front office, and we absolutely have to spend the $2,000 a year and have a good communication system to our parents on when things are happening, and also have a better communication system internally when things are happening. We need to continue to improve and revise our processes. So in the meantime, because this stuff is going to take time, it's not going to happen all at once. Even if somebody wanted to write me a check for $340,000 tonight, it's still going to take some time to get those things in place. Our number 1 priority recommendation is to add a security position to the staff at the school now. Okay? Now, why would we want to do that? Well, I would like a security position here while the facility has exposure. This position looks like a security guard. It's a presence. It's a presence that does a couple different things. That monitors our facility, that is welcoming when those doors need to be open, because I don't want this to be a prison so that the doors can't be open at times. Man, preschool pickup, right? We're exposed at preschool pickup, but preschool pickup, those families should come in, should have community, should pick their kids up. But when they do that, we need somebody just to monitor at the doors to make sure that it's not just the preschool parents who we love coming through, but it's not a bad guy coming through, right? This position we want to be able to help us to improve our policies and procedures, that understands them better, that can help us to teach and to train, and focused and dedicated to do that. As we want community with open door drop-off and pickup, while the facility has exposure, to help improve those procedures, we're going to reevaluate this as we progress. So this might not be every single year, all the time, as we progress our facility and as we progress our procedures. But for now, somebody on site, while the kids are here, to us is of critical importance. If I go a little further with it, I've costed it out. There's options. So Northfield, or New Trier has a Northfield police officer on duty at their facility, paid by the city of Northfield, but charged back to the New Trier School District at a pretty high, hefty price, a price that we won't be able to afford. Secondly, we could go and we could hire a security agency and put a security agent officer here, and it might be the same guy, it might be different guys. That also is a bit expensive because it's their nickel, it's what they're paying, it's their liability, etc. And thirdly, we could put somebody as a direct hire here, and then it's our person, consistent each and every day, welcoming, learning about our facility, helping us to improve our facility, dedicated, committed to CHA. And we've looked into liability insurance, and it's a little high, but it's more economical to do that than it is to hire a security agency, which we don't know who we're going to get on a regular basis. And it's definitely more economical than to hire the Northfield Police on a daily basis. Plus, they don't have another police officer to be able to do it right now. So here's what I'm asking. I look at that price tag for the last half of the year, and I'm asking for people to contribute to be able to put this on immediately. I don't have it in the budget for this year. I'm going to build it in the budget for next year, right? But that cost is roughly $40,000 of a salary along with benefits. So I'm asking if folks want to help me with $30,000, $30,000 to $40,000 for the last half of the year. And I'll tell you right now, I've secured 10 of that 40 already. Guys, having somebody on site isn't necessarily just fun to have, but I look at it this way. You're not going to 100% bulletproof secure this school. If and when something were to happen, the difference between 1 minute somebody responding because they're on site and 5 minutes on average responding at the Northfield Police is substantial. So it's about kind of minimizing the impact. I believe it strongly in looking at our building and looking at our facility and looking at our needs. I believe somebody coming in to help us to get better in policies and procedures. I believe somebody to help us to be there when doors are timed open, and we want them to be that way, and somebody that we have a presence at our school is needed. We believe that. Not just me. We believe that, and that's our recommendation. So I'm doing an ask a little bit tonight, and if you want to talk about it, I'm more than willing to talk about it with you afterwards. But if you have that in your heart and you feel it, come talk to me, because I want to put this position on as quickly as possible to help us to improve. If any of the other stuff just has you really fun that you want me to name a fence after you, come on and talk to me. I'll name a fence after you, right? I'll name doors after you. I love it. We need some help. This is about being community and about investing together. And I know I'm 12 minutes past 8 o'clock, and I apologize for that. Very passionate about it. I want you to know that it's important. I want you to know that it's a focus of ours, and I want you to know that we need your help, we need your support, and you have our commitment to make your children as secure as possible when they're in our school. Okay? That's it. Thanks a lot.